Guys, huge apologies, this video has come way too late. I've been doing loads of stuff lately outside of vlogging, namely, well actually, I've been learning to fly, okay, and also I've been doing loads of work lately and it's just one of those things. But all that time, I have been filming vlogs. I've just not had a chance to edit any of my footage together and actually get them into a coherent film and video for you. Not until last week when I travelled away to a place called Chernobyl. So this video, bearing in mind I haven't actually edited it yet, is either going to be just about our little visit to Kiev and then another one will be about Chernobyl, or the whole visit will all be wrapped up into one. Whatever happens, I hope you enjoy it. I'm really sorry. Please hit that subscribe button. I will be vlogging more. It's ridiculous the amount of stuff I film that doesn't actually ever make it onto my channel. So please do hit that subscribe button and let's go. I hope you enjoy the video, guys. See you soon.
Just what you're doing. You're a blogger, right? Yeah. You can't take anything with security.
Oh, am I in security now?
Yeah.
Do you want to have a look at what I've got on here?
Yeah.
And I didn't know this at the time, and now I've thought about it, now I know it, it's so obvious. But you're not allowed to film in the security area of an airport. That brings me down to, very quickly before we get on with this video, if you're out vlogging or you're filming or you're doing anything, okay, and a security officer or someone in a position of authority like a policeman or someone in the army or whatever comes up to you and asks you to stop what you're doing, follow these 4 particular quick little rules or sets of things that you should do. Number 1, stop what you're doing. Stop filming, stop what you're doing, okay? Number 2, communicate with them in a polite and clear manner. Number 3, offer to show them the footage you have on your camera. This can be the difference between them forcing you to give over your card and getting rid of all the footage that you've taken of that great day or whatever you were doing. And number 4, whatever they do ask you to do, whether it be give that footage over, comply, okay? And do so politely. If you carry out those 4 little things, you should be okay. Anyway, on with the video. So boom, whoa, bloody hell, currently chilling out in Heathrow. About to go to a place called Chernobyl in Ukraine, which is well known because there was a massive industrial accident there involving their nuclear reactor about 30 years ago, which resulted in the death of a lot of people. And we thought we'd go to Ukraine for like 3 or 4 days, figure out what happened there, but also go to Kiev, had a good look around, see what's going on, and basically have a good time. So there we go, enjoy. This little trip wasn't my idea, and the kudos for organising it really should go to my mate Noddy, who's the old git on the left in this photo. Also my mate Dane, if you'd have watched my other YouTube channel, you definitely would have come across him before. He came along for the ride as well. We've all got a big interest in history, and it's just one of the things we love to do is going away, just the lads, to go and visit historical sites, and then in the evening go out and get absolutely hammered, some of which might make it onto this video. Nod and Dane.
Nod 2.
Nod's the one who came up with the idea for us to go to Chernobyl. Nod, why?
Why not?
Oh, excellent, okay. And Dane's the one who agreed to come with us. Dane, why?
Like living life on the edge.
Ah, okay. And I came because they wanted to go as well, and I don't like being left out. That's pretty much it. 3.5 hours later, sandwiched in between these 2 stinking cretins, and we landed in Kiev, ready to go on our journey. After touchdown and grabbing our bags, we were picked up by our really friendly taxi driver. That morning he had problems with his engine, but he reassured us that we should be able to make it into town. If you've never flown to Kiev, it's worth knowing that the airport is about 45 minutes away from the centre of the city, down a road that's utterly lawless and completely mental. But it was a fascinating trip anyway, going past the old Soviet tenement blocks and seeing the amazing amount of development going on in the city. So anyway, 3.5 hours flying over beautiful Europe, and we're now arrived in Kiev. How'd you say hello again, Dane? Dobry den. Dobry den. Dobry den.
Dobry den.
Hello. Simple plan. We're going to go out, find a bar, sit down in the sun and drink. In our shorts. Because we're English. Yeah, in shorts and flip-flops. And we're going to tuck our t-shirts into our socks. No, we're not, sorry. Tuck our t-shirts into our shorts. That's what I was meant to say. Yeah, anyway, right. Have a lovely day. See you soon.
Oh, you close door.
Proper?
You.
Kiev is the capital of Ukraine, and as of 2015 had a population of 2.9 million. Now, contrary to popular belief, it's not actually anywhere near any of the war zones with Russia, which are far to the southeast. And over the last 10 to 15 years, Kiev as a city has strived to become more westernised and European. But that being said, this being our first visit to Kiev, we didn't really know what to expect. Personally, I was expecting a city of drab architecture, rundown and austere from years of Soviet slapdash building. But we found that the centre of the city and its heart was as vibrant, beautiful and interesting as the people who live there. So what I'm trying to say, everyone, is Kiev's absolutely amazing. Don't judge a book by its cover, alright? We dumped our bags in our Soviet-style tenement block with the front door that looked just like this and a horrible radiator outside. So we've got a beautiful look at the surroundings. We've got outside. This is Ukrainsky Street or something or other. Don't know. Right, my room. Lovely, beautiful. Noddy's room.
With balcony.
Amazing. Matt with balcony. Me. Dane's bed. Drew the short straw there, Dane, eh? Didn't you? I just want to demonstrate how thin the mattress is.
It's a proper level of comfort, this.
It is, isn't it? Oh. Right, and now for the creme de menthe. Creme de menthe or creme de... Oh, Nod.
Yeah.
Right, Nod's used that just now. Look at the size of this bath. It's absolutely massive. It's just... Those of you who follow the other channel will know that I'm a plumber. So yeah, seeing that sort of thing's quite funny. Loving all that, something's going on there. Yeah. Foreign plumbing. Bit of a nightmare usually. What first struck me is this. Imagine the largest and widest street in London, or the city that you live in. Imagine that being completely pedestrianised and 6 lanes wide, and just having families and friends and people and locals just having a great time. It was lovely to walk through. So I'm filming on the GoPro at the moment, and this is like the main street in Kiev city, and they're just completely shut to the street so people can just walk on it. They're pedestrianised.
They knew we were coming.
Yeah, they knew we were coming. They've pedestrianised a 6-lane street. It's just people all over it, all up and down. It's crazy. Obviously we need to grab some money, and the main currency out in Ukraine is hryvnia. There's about 35.5 hryvnia to the British pound, so that's making things pretty cheap actually when we were out there. It worked out that maybe a pint of beer was about 90 pence, and an Aperol or a sort of cocktail would have been about £1.50.
One
Caught you with some bevies.
push push looking there. Get one of those.
We grabbed a bite to eat on the main street and then had a quick plod around the centre of Kiev. It was absolutely beautiful, interesting street artist.
Live
and laugh up, yo, right here in Kyiv, hell yeah. It was also at this point a strange bloke dressed up as a panda put his panda hat on me, and then also forced Nod to feign anal sex with him. Don't ask me why, but they asked for money afterwards, so watch out for those dudes. A real vibrant community, loads of young people sitting around enjoying the sun, and then we decided that we'd walk up to the Great Patriotic War Museum. And if you guys are going to Kiev, I'd 100% put this on your list of things to do. Anyway, right, so we are now at what's known as the Museum of the Great Patriotic War, which is the Soviet name for World War II pretty much. A lot of you probably don't know, but a lot of people from Soviet Russia died.
28 million.
Yeah, so we're here now, so we can have a look around.
Oh, this is real.
Some photos. First thing you'll notice, and that will guide you from any part of Kiev to this fantastic museum, is the Motherland Monument. Standing 62 metres high and on top of the Great Patriotic War Museum, the Rodina Mat, which is the local name, was built in remembrance of 28 million Soviet dead during World War II. She's massive, guys, and her sword alone is 16 metres long and weighs 9 tonnes. I've got to say, guys, I'm so proud of the drone footage I've got here, so let's just have a little fly around and enjoy the weather and this fantastic monument. If you look closely at the shield, you'll be able to see the viewing area that I was going to go up, but unfortunately we had to wait half an hour, and then I saw people getting strapped up in harnesses, and then I remembered that I was in Ukraine, and then I thought, actually, I think I'll just give that one a miss. It's sometimes hard to comprehend the scale and human tragedy that the war in the East entailed, and it's often forgotten by those in the West. And if you're looking for a monument commemorating the dead of the motherland, then there's nothing more striking than the Rodina Mat. The museum itself was absolutely fascinating and set over 3 floors. The first floor covered the current conflict between Ukraine and Russia, and the rest of the museum was dedicated to World War II. A piece of advice for you guys: if you are going to be visiting this museum, it's well worth ringing up beforehand to book an English guide. We did see some people going around with an English guide, because although each room has a small sheet telling you exactly what's in that room, individual artifacts, diary entries and small bits and pieces that are on display, all their tags and description parts were in Ukrainian, so make sure you take an English speaking guide around with you. Also, it might be worth considering if you've got young people with you. There were artifacts in there from the Holocaust that were actually made from human beings. We didn't take any photos of them because they're pretty morbid, but there are some photos that I did take while I was in there. They're all on the Canon 80D with my 24 to 105mm L lens. Please do not ask me for my settings because the light was so up and down. All my manual settings just changed for every shot. Also, and probably the most disturbing of all, they had a huge kind of tractor that was used to mash up human bones during the Holocaust to turn into fertiliser. So this place isn't for the faint-hearted, but definitely worth a visit if that's your interest. We left the museum and then headed back into town. It's just at this point I'd like to say, guys, is that Kiev doesn't really do bars yet out on the streets. They don't really do cafes like you'll see in Italy or France or Germany. They just haven't got up with that yet. And when they do, it is going to be an amazing city. But anyway, on the way back, I just snapped a photo of these 2 old geezers who'd just fallen asleep on each other. And I think it might be, for me, one of the most favourite photos I've ever taken. So really proud of that. Anyway, we reconvene back over at our little cafe to take in the day and then go out for a few more Aperols.
More tasty lager.
Yeah, it's got a bit of left on the rinse.
It's not left.
What is it anyway?
Oh, just a rice beer. Something rice. Local rice beer.
So yeah, we're chilling out. God knows where now, just in the middle of nowhere.
We lost.
In the middle of Kiev, which I'm going to say now, if you've not been here and you've read reviews and you're kind of worried about it, so far, I'd say that it's unbounded. Just like any big city, just have your wits about you, that sort of thing.
It's got a bit of content to it.
Yeah, there's plenty of begging, but
You compare it to somewhere like Barcelona, I'd say that already this place has got less beggars than Barcelona,
Yeah.
less people offering you drugs.
even though I did get offered drugs at the airport terminal.
You said the pilot, just concentrate on the plane.
Yes, yeah, keep flying the plane, mate. And it's nice that the weather's nice, it always makes a place feel better, doesn't it? But obviously we've not been here in the night yet, we don't know what it gets like. It might
Darker.
Yeah, I know it gets darker now, but it might get absolutely brutal. You never know. We'll have to see, won't we? But until then, we've got just a beautiful beer to drink. So we'll be chilling now. Where are we now?
We're still in Kiev.
We're in Kiev still. I slightly burnt out the battery on my GoPro because I left it recording in my pocket. So we're trying to not stay out because we've got a very early start tomorrow. What time have we got to start?
Very early.
We're getting up at 6.
We're getting up at 6 o'clock tomorrow
Bit of a
morning.
walk.
That's not that early actually.
A bit of a walk, KFC.
We're getting a
and
KFC for
radiation.
breakfast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Zinger breakfast.
We're going to get a zinger breakfast and then we're going to go and get a bus to Chernobyl. I'll leave our babbling and the night that ensued where it belongs, firmly forgotten in my memory. As we've just said, we had an early start the next day, and this was for our guided tour around Chernobyl power plant and Pripyat village, the reason that we'd come out to Kiev in the first place. That will be in our next video, so there was so much to see and do and film that I thought maybe I'd just do it more justice if I put it into the next episode. So please come back and watch that, or click on the link now to see the next episode. Thanks ever so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you then.